Oh, I might jump onto that. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you're all still here, but it kicked me out again. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. I'm gonna call and complain. Hey, Joe. That's the second time in a row they've kicked me out after being on for like 40 minutes. It kicks me off. I'm really getting upset at YouTube. Laura, will you call
Call who?
YouTube?
Yeah.
Do you tell everyone that we're back on?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mini Madness. This is kind of
Wait,
getting.
are you in this one?
I don't know which one I'm on.
Let's make me do an ad first.
Am I back on that one?
I'm waiting for it to load.
Hey guys, sorry. This is the second week in a row. YouTube kicks me out of my stream. It kicks me out of my stream after like 40 minutes. It did the same thing last week. It's really making me mad. Laura made an
Well, it
appearance.
says right there, experiencing interruptions, find out why.
Yeah, why? Hold on, everyone, for 1 second.
Hold on, let me close and go back in.
So I'm going to let everyone kind of jump in here. No, I don't lift anymore. Hi, Jonah. What's up, CJN? Laura, can you turn it down a little bit?
You just asked me to check it. I'm trying.
Yeah, but you can turn the volume down.
Give me a second.
Hey, Kevin. Oh boy, Laura's been in here for 30 seconds already yelling at me. Thanks, Jonah. I appreciate it. I got kicked out.
The thing's spinning.
Yeah, so
people can't get back in.
that's my old one. I got my new one on. Can you answer that? YouTube must be listening, huh? But why'd they kick me out last week? What did I do last week? I am not hardwired. No, I am on Wi-Fi. I'm doing it on my phone. Maybe I'll do it on my computer next week and just do. Actually, my computer's not hardwired either. The only thing hardwired right now is my PS4. I was answering you, Phil. It popped up on the top of my screen. All right, so well, we had like 200 and some people in here. Now we only have, I think, 65 according to my phone, but it's okay. We'll start all over again. And do I like Dennis Rodman? I love Dennis Rodman as a player. He seems like a little bit of an interesting guy, but um, I uh, I loved Dennis Rodman as a player, probably because Dennis Rodman reminded me of a player when I was playing basketball. The only thing I wanted to do when I played basketball was rebound, play defense, and win. That was it. My dad used to always tell me to shoot more, and I'd be like, I don't want to shoot. I'm not a good shooter. I want to rebound. I want to play defense. And he'd be like, You're an idiot. What are you talking about? I'm like, That's what I have fun doing, and that's what helps the team win. He was like, What? I don't know. And it was like church league basketball, and I'm like wanting to win really bad. Um, so I was more into like team. It's really weird actually. I was all about the team in yeah, church league don't help. I was all about the team in basketball and in football. Those two sports I wanted to win more than anything. I don't know what it was about those two sports. In baseball, I wanted to win, but I was also a little bit more selfish in baseball. I think it was probably because I knew I was trying to play at a high level, so I wanted to make sure I did well. And so even if the team won, if I stunk, I still didn't feel like as much joy. But in football or basketball, in football, if I didn't touch the ball once all game, but we won, I was like, I don't care. We won. That's all I care about. And I thought that was awesome. That made playing so much fun because there was no like individual pressure on me. It was just let's win the freaking game. But in baseball, it was just different. It was always hard for me to do that. If I went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts and we won, I was like, yeah, we won, but God, I stunk, and it was just tough. Oh, we have a couple of super chats, guys. Hold on 1 second.
You won from Iron Man. Maddie would love that.
Iron Man's on here? No way. Holy crap, Iron Man. Iron Man, I like you.
You won above that too.
Oh, thank you. Hold on one second. Matthew Palevsky. Thank you, Matthew, for the super chat. What do you think the owners would? Matt, oh, sorry, Matt. Do you think the owners would accept a 110 plus game season? If not, what number do you think they'll agree on? This is a good question. So, well, the thing about a 110 game season, the owners are claiming they're going to lose more money the more games that are played. Now, here's the problem: 110 game season. If the players want to get paid on a per game basis, that means they're going to get paid a lot more money than when they were talking about an 82 game season or whatever. So I don't know if that's going to work. I was thinking half a season sounds about right to me. I would take more than half a season, but I was thinking half a season sounds right. I feel like anything less than half a season doesn't feel like enough, and I feel like anything more than half a season might feel a little crammed. So um, I just think that they have to figure this out. I feel like they have to figure it out because I just and they didn't figure it out in 1994, but I just feel like they have to figure it out or else baseball right now, the popularity of baseball is slowly going down and they're having a tough time getting young people really into the game. The last thing you want is for football and basketball and hockey to all be coming back and playing all fall and all winter, and baseball's the one sport that ain't on TV. I just don't think that's a good recipe for growing the sport. So clearly, it's not. Iron Man, thank you so much. Don't hurt me, Iron Man. Hey, Matt, your thoughts on the Rangers' new ballpark? Seems to me that it's a copy of other ballparks all in one. Kind of wishing it was more original, like the outgoing park. Your thoughts? Um, so I've seen like some pictures, and I've played on it on my video game on MLB The Show. I kind of agree with you. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem very unique. No, I've never been there, and obviously, maybe if I go and watch it, it's different. But it doesn't feel like a brand new ballpark to me when I'm looking at it. I don't know. Maybe I haven't paid attention to it enough. But that's kind of the feeling I get. But thank you so much, Iron Man, for the super chat. My son loves you, by the way. You're his favorite superhero. Teddy, thanks so much. Matt, ask BITG. He is in here. Hey, Phil. Teddy, Teddy Halpin right here. Huge fan of your channel. Big fan of our channel. And he wants to rig the the giveaway so that he can get chosen. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to rig it or not.
Wait, what?
But
Rig what?
we're doing a giveaway for a break. Remember I told you we're breaking the cards.
Yeah.
Gibson, thank you for the super chat, Teddy. Gibson 45, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi Matt from St. Louis, best baseball channel on YouTube. Thanks, Gibson.
Thanks.
Bob Gibson? Were you named after Bob Gibson from St. Louis? Are you Bob Gibson? Live chat. Back to the live chat. Thanks, TR5368. So here's my thought. A lot of people ask me, I get a lot of emails and questions from older people. And they'll say, I say older people, I just mean like, not like young kids. And they'll say, I haven't played baseball for a long time, but I really want to play. And, do I think I can ever get, do you think I can play? Do you think I can make the team? My thought is this: if you have the time and you want to do it and you don't care if you put in a lot of time and don't make a team, then go for it. I think it will be hard, obviously, to do that, but I'm not going to tell anyone they can't do it. So go for it. It's not impossible, but it is hard. But if you don't mind putting in all that work with the chance of you're not being good enough, then do it. So, baseball is definitely an acquired skill. You got to put a lot of time in to get good at it. And if you haven't played in a long time, that obviously kind of hurts. But I've seen players not play for a long time and pick it up and be good at it. So, Hank Lockwood, thank you so much for the super chat, Hank. I appreciate that. Matthew. You just gave me a super chat and I already forget. Palevsky. I'm horrible with names. Thank you, Matthew. Matt, do you have any crazy stories when you played for Terry Francona? What do you think about the weird gum tobacco glove? Yeah, he's always got a lot of mouth. He's always got a lot of stuff in his mouth all the time. It kind of just always looking at his lips like this. The lips are always kind of over on the side of his face. So I wasn't around him enough to really get to know him, but I was around a few practices. I played in a handful of games. It wasn't like he talked to me a whole lot. I do remember my first game that I got called up to the big league team in spring training for the Indians. I was on deck, and it's kind of weird when you get called up for your first time. This was like early in spring training. Yeah, I was in minor league camp with the Indians that year, and so when they call you up, you just go to the game. You're not, and I hadn't met Terry yet. I hadn't played for, he's the big league coach, but I hadn't like met him. So I'm in the dugout. I'm getting ready to play, but I still haven't talked to him. And so then I go to get on deck, and I'm like, or I'm in the hole. I'm about to go on deck, and he's like right here watching the game, and I'm watching the game too. And he's like, he says to me, he's going, I don't remember the exact words, but it was something like, "Hey, you're from Peabody, Massachusetts," something like that. And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, good stuff. Nice to meet you." And I was like, "Nice to meet you too." I didn't call him Tito. No, I didn't call him anything then. If I had to ask him something, I don't know if I would have called him Tito or just called him Skip, or I can't remember what people called him Tito, but I wasn't sure. I was very new to the team. I didn't know if I was supposed to say, "Hey, Tito." So seemed like a great guy though. Josh Mahoney, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey Matt, thoughts on the Giants' future? Well, I'm not an expert with the Giants. I think they've got a great franchise, obviously. I think Bruce Bochy was awesome. And they had some great players for a long time. And right now, I don't know much about their system. I'd have to do some research. So anything I say right now, I'm basically just setting this all up to say I have no freaking idea. But I really don't. They don't know enough about the Giants. They've got kind of players now that are getting a little older. I don't know enough about their younger players, but it's been a great baseball organization for a while. So I think they can get back to some winning baseball. Hey, thank you so much. What did that say? Number one. Oh, number one. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, Manny E, what's up? Do I know a bit of Italian? So I don't know any Italian. My
Grandma.
why you got? I know it. I know. No, I'm just kidding. So both my grandparents are from Italy. They were born in Italy, lived in Italy, and then they both moved over here during the war. My dad and uncle are both fluent in Italian, and they grew up. Well, my dad grew up in Italy a lot as a kid. He would go over. They would usually spend their summers in Italy and their non-summers in America. But no one ever taught me Italian. So my generation is like the first generation that didn't learn Italian. I don't know Italian. My sister doesn't know Italian. My cousins don't know Italian. So it kind of ended with my dad and my uncle. I've always wanted to learn Italian. I still will learn it one day. I bought Rosetta Stone Italian for like $8 billion, and it got really hard.
So you quit.
So I quit. I remember I used to do it when I was with the Nationals. I used to do Rosetta Stone every morning. I'd wake up in the hotel and I would do Rosetta Stone Italian to learn it, but I ended up stopping after a while. Ugliest teammate I've played with? I can't answer that question on here. That'd be just mean. Phil, that's interesting. Same thing, huh? You don't know Italian either? But everyone else in your family does? Do I like Italian food? So I do.
Matt's favorite food is chicken parm.
Well, my favorite food is chicken parm. Laura said my favorite food was chicken palm. But, Laura, why don't you come a little bit closer so the people can hear you here?
No, because you just make fun of me and be mean.
I'm not making fun of you. But I do like Italian food. I like chicken parm. My favorite glove is a Rawlings. Rawlings Heart of the Hide. I have had a fan I am Catholic. I have had a fan run on the field while I was playing. When I was in Portland, I'll tell this story quick and then we have a super chat. When I was in Portland, AAA for the Padres, the lights went out in the stadium. Pitch black. Could barely see anything. And so our shortstop, I'm playing second base, our shortstop comes over to me and we're just talking. And we're like, wow, this is really weird. And then all of a sudden, some guy appears right next to us. And it's hard. You don't see him coming. All of a sudden, he just appears. I'm like, hey, whoa, what's going on, buddy? And he was like, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm like, nothing. Where'd you come from? He's like, I came from the stands. I'm watching the game. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, the lights went on. I just jumped on the field and ran over here. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And all of a sudden, like the emergency lights started to kind of light up. So it got a little lighter. And once those came on, I was like, hey, man, I'm like, they might see you out here. They might come after you. You might want to get out of here. And he was like, yeah, it's a good idea. And he took off and ran back and jumped back into the stand. So I did have that. All right, guys, we have a couple super chats. Hold on one second, everybody. Let me get to these super chats. It's really hot in here, Laura. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. I'm going to open the this window up a little bit more. Oh, I'm caught. Oh, my God.
Now it's going to be cold in here.
I'm just going to do that for a couple seconds. Okay, guys. Let's get back to my super chats real quick. What do we have here? It's your boy Taco7890. Thank you for the super chat. Go Nats. So you should have been on my Twitch stream last night because we were talking about the Nats because I played for the Nationals. But yeah, go Nats. Congratulations on the World Series. And Sean Doolittle paying, or all of the Nationals paying their minor leaguers. That's nice. Landon Souza, thank you so much for the super chat. With all that is going on in the world right now, this channel keeps me smiling. Love your videos. Hi, Laura. Use this money for Matt cereal.
Thanks, Landon. I will.
Thanks, Landon. That's very nice of you, and I'm glad that we can make you smile. Sayaman? Black? I don't know if I pronounced that right. Thank you so much for the super chat. Which player did you see get juiced the most in MLB? While I was playing, steroids was kind of like, I came into baseball right when like steroid testing was kind of getting big. And so players started to get off the juice when I was kind of coming in. There were still some players on it. There's still some players talking about it, but very few. I only know of two. I only know of two teammates of mine that were on steroids, or were on at some point in their career. But that's because they talked about it. Nobody else talked about it, and I never saw anyone take steroids. And so that's all I got. So I was not around with many steroids. I did see a kid for the Nationals. I don't remember his name. I remember one day he got released because they found like a big thing of, they found a bunch of syringes in his hotel room and they released him. But that was really it. So not a lot of steroids. BITG Breaks, back in the game Breaks. Thank you so much for the super chat. I mentioned this earlier, but we're doing on Saturday, this coming Saturday night, I'm going to have a video going up tomorrow morning, but we're doing a break, and Phil is going to, well, I guess we both are giving away free spots in that break. So you can go over to Phil's channel, and I'm going to have a video up tomorrow kind of explaining exactly how we're going to do it, but you can go over now if you want. And you can comment there, and you can win a free spot in the break. It's going to be fun. Yes, except the Italian food got me way out of playing shape. Mercy, what's the secret, huh? So Laura always yells at me. I was very lucky that I can eat anything I want and not get fat. If Laura was in here right now, I'll wait for her to come back in here and then I'll ask her. She gets very mad at this. Nothing I did. Nothing. This is just like I was born. Lady Gaga have a song, Born This Way.
How were you born, Matt?
Phil wants to know if I can eat, how I don't get out of shape and get fat when I'm eating a lot of Italian food.
Matt has the worst diet of anyone I've ever met in my life, and he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him. It's like annoying.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I eat anything I want. When I was playing, I grew up with the worst diet ever. My diet's become better because of Laura, because Laura's very conscious of ingredients and all that stuff. I still eat like crap, but for instance, how many cookies did I have today? I had a lot of cookies today.
No, they weren't little cookies. They were like the size of your palm.
They were like this big. I don't know what it is. When I grew up, everyone always assumed I was like this very strict, healthy eater because I never had any body fat. But I'd eat McDonald's, I could eat McDonald's 3 times a day if I wanted to. Drink.
Yeah, but that's gross.
I know it's gross, but My insides are probably terrible, guys. RC from the NYC, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Matt. Hey, Laura. Hope all is well. Same to you, RC. Do you think there will ever be another knuckleballer in the majors, and did you get your Lucky Charms yet? Laura, have you put the target order in?
I ordered the Lucky Charms, yes.
She ordered the Lucky Charms. They're coming. Knuckleballers. So knuckleballers are weird. I think people thought, like when Wakefield and then R.A. Dickey, I think people thought, and maybe people were training to throw a knuckleball. I think the knuckleball is one of those things. I don't know anything about a knuckleball. I don't know how to throw it. I've always been the worst knuckleball thrower. But I think maybe the knuckleball is harder to throw than most people think it is. If it wasn't, then there'd be a lot more knuckleballers. Because, I mean, it was hard to hit Tim Wakefield. It was hard to hit R.A. Dickey. So, I don't know. I think it's just tough. Lucky Charms for a grown man? Absolutely. I love Lucky Charms.
Matt has a bowl of cereal actually, Matt doesn't eat cereal out of a bowl. He'll only eat it out of a glass cup. And he has a cup of cereal every night before bed.
Not every night.
So his box of Lucky Charms will be gone in like a day because he'll eat it all for bedtime.
If I had Lucky Charms in the house right now, I'd eat it before night every bed. I'd eat it before bed every night, not before night every bed. I don't know how you would do that.
I think you said it wrong again.
Laura will not come into view. No. They're magically delicious. You're right. I was not recruited by Arizona State. All the schools I was recruited by were all East Coast schools. I was not recruited by any West Coast schools. What accent does Laura have?
I don't have an accent, Iron Man.
She has the accent where there's no R. There's no R's in her in the alphabet. I had no interest in playing for Arizona State, no. I wanted to play in the ACC. All the schools I liked were mostly on the ACC. I was recruited by not every school in the ACC, but most of them. That was kind of the league I wanted to play in. I'm from just north of Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, these are going fast right now. SEC. I didn't get recruited by a lot of SEC schools. I got recruited by Alabama. Got recruited by Vanderbilt. That might have been the only two SEC schools that recruited me. Laura is British. Yeah, basically.
I'm not British.
Launch angle or backspin. I don't know what that means, but so if you're talking about like launch angle swing or backspin swing, I just don't know what that is. I'm assuming you mean swing down through the ball to create backspin or to swing slightly up into the ball. I think that's what you mean. I don't like to describe it as launch angle swing or backspin swing because I think that would take a long time for me to explain. But I would say get the barrel behind the ball, and you want the barrel to be hitting the ball slightly up. That's not my opinion. That's just if you go online right now and look at attack angle of major league hitters, it's all going to be positive. Nobody hits the ball on a negative attack angle. So we have a super chat, everybody. Thank you so much, D Porter. D Porter, you are. I'm going to be able to buy 100 boxes of Lucky Charms with you supporting the channel. Were you the best player in your area growing up? If not, who was? So I grew up in a very strange area. Tell you real quick, I'm from a town or city, Peabody, Massachusetts. We're about 50,000 people. And Massachusetts is not a baseball hotbed, obviously. It snows all the time. But we had 2 first-round picks, me and Jeff Allison, we grew up together. We played together our whole lives. We're from the same town, the same age, the same grade. We were both first-round picks, which for a small town of 50,000 people is almost, the odds of that happening are probably, I don't know, 1 in a lot of million. But then not only that, our other buddy, Mark Shorey, who played with us all our lives, who's our age, he made it all the way to AAA. So that's 3 players from the same town of 50,000 in the same age in a city that doesn't play baseball. And then Ryan Mora, who's our age in Peabody, he got drafted by the Mariners. So that's 4 players. All like those statistics are ridiculously. I don't even know what those statistics are. It almost is impossible to happen. And then we had other great players from our city too. So it's very strange. I was not the best player growing up. Jeff Allison was. I was probably the second best player, although Mark Shorey was probably better than me when we were younger because he was such a physical player. He just destroyed balls. So maybe I was the third best player in the town. And then as I got older, I kind of Mark Shorey was a great player. I was probably more athletic than Mark, so I probably ended up I guess you consider passing him, but not. I mean, he was always a great hitter. So we just had a really crazy town. Jeff Allison was considered the number one when he got drafted. He was the number one high school player in the country, and people were comparing him to Josh Beckett. That's how good he was. So yes, Peabody West Little League. That was my little league, Peabody West Little League. To give you another idea, when we were all in Babe Ruth, we went to the Babe Ruth World Series, which is the top 8 teams in the country. We went to it every year you could, 13-year-old year, 14-year-old year, 15-year-old year, and we won 14-year-old year, the national Babe Ruth championship or whatever. So we had a very good town. Oh, we got a couple more super chats. John Mahoney, thank you. Oh, Josh Mahoney, sorry. Josh Mahoney, thank you so much. Favorite pitcher you face in the majors? My favorite pitcher? Well, I hit best off of Matt Cain, but I faced Clayton Kershaw, so I would say that was probably my favorite pitcher. I really like watching Clayton Kershaw pitch. I faced Tim Lincecum. I like facing him a lot. I mean, I don't like facing him. He's really good, but who else did I face? Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer. I didn't really like Greg Maddux that much, but that was fun to face him. So I would say probably those guys. Big Dom Stud, thank you so much for the super chat. What surprises you about Laura to this day?
That's a good question.
Wow, what surprises me? That she still puts up with me. That's probably honest.
Okay.
But no, I'm not even gonna say anything. But yeah, I would say that probably surprises me.
No, sir, because you always say that you're the easiest person to get along with.
I am pretty easy to get along with.
So
I'm always
I'm
always happy. Dirk Hayhurst said it best. Where's the book? Where's Dirk's book, Laura?
I have no idea.
I said this last time. So I don't know if you guys know Dirk Hayhurst. He put out a bunch of great books. They were best-selling books. New York Times best-selling books. I was in his books because I was his roommate when he wrote them. And what did he say? He said that I was like a dog where as long as you
don't pull his tail, he'll be your best friend.
Yeah, as long as you don't pull my tail, I'll be your best friend.
But that's not what surprises you about me. That's about you.
No, but you just said to me that I was. I don't know what we're talking about. Sorry.
You say you're easy.
But that surprises me most about Laura.
Okay.
Turn 2. Thank you so much for the super chat. Do you think the MLB should institute the old playoff system of pennant winner only playoffs to make the shortened season more exciting? No, I don't think they should do that because I think that might make the season less exciting because, well, I think the season gets more exciting when there's more teams that could possibly make the playoffs. So if you only have the pennant winners, you're only really going to probably have maybe like 4 teams in at the end. It could be less. It could be 3 teams in it. It might be less. It might be only 2 teams in it if those 2 teams just crush everybody. So, which would means all the other teams and their fans would kind of give up on the season earlier. So I think baseball's trying to go the other way, where they're trying to get every freaking team into the playoffs so that people have to watch the whole season. Let's see. Shout out to. Oh wait, hold on, Mitchell. You said it 4,000 times.
I'm telling him to put him in timeout if he doesn't stop.
Mitchell, I'm gonna give you a shout out here. Don't do it again. You're going to timeout. Laura just said it.
No, and who's Andy?
Was it harder in the big leagues? I wasn't in the big leagues long enough to be able to tell you. My big league career, I've talked about it in all my videos. I can't say that the big leagues were like this incredibly hard league, although it was a hard league, okay? But I think that I could have been fine in the major leagues if I went to the major leagues with if you look at my swing and my good seasons, if I took those in the minor leagues and went to the big leagues, I think it would have hit just fine. Let's just say that. There's a lot of, what did they say, nuance. There's a lot that went into what happened in the major leagues and what happened in certain years in my minor leagues. So people that don't know anything about me and people just say, oh, you couldn't hack it in the big leagues because look at your stats. They don't really understand exactly everything that went into it. So I'll say that. Like, I'm very confident. If you took me in 2007 and plopped me in the big leagues, I would have hit the hell out of the ball. I have no doubt about that.
Kevin Green asked, were you popular and one of the cool kids in high school and impressed a lot of girls? Matt went to an all-boys school.
I did go to an all-boys school, but I could still impress girls. I mean, I had a girlfriend.
That's true.
So what was the question? Was I popular?
Were you popular, one of the cool kids?
So I would say I was pretty popular, but my popularity in high school, why are you laughing? I was pretty popular, but my popularity came strictly from sports. Like, I was known as the really good athlete. Was I considered cool? People considered me cool because I was good at sports. But one of my biggest pet peeves in life, this isn't just in school, this is in life. I do not like people that try to be cool. I never, ever, ever tried to be cool. Probably because I wasn't cool. I always say I was late to every trend. I was wearing a comb over when I was in middle school and got to high school. I was wearing, when kids all went to jeans, like jeans became really big. I wouldn't wear jeans because they're uncomfortable. I was always like a step late in all like the cool things. But people still thought I was cool because I was a good baseball player and football player and hockey player. It had nothing to do with anything that I did off of the fields. And so, but I did not like for instance, I wasn't going to be friends with someone just because they were cool, and I wasn't going to not be friends with someone just because they weren't cool. And if somebody thought that I wasn't cool because I was hanging out with the not cool kids, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't really want to be your friend anyway. So that's kind of my thought to it. Bell bottoms. But anytime I meet someone that if I feel like someone's trying to be cool, I was cool because I smoked pot in the woods. That's like Laura. She was cool because she smoked pot in the woods.
I did not.
It was 100%. So like Laura, now this is an interesting discussion.
Oh, don't talk about me.
Laura doesn't want me to talk about her smoking pot in the woods. Sorry,
I
everybody.
wasn't smoking pot in the woods. I have children now.
Oh, you've told me 1,000 times. And our kids aren't watching this. Now, Laura was considered a cool kid in school. Okay,
no, I wasn't. Just stop talking about me.
No. Laura was considered a cool kid. And I don't know if I would have been friends with Laura in high school because I wonder if she was going to give me that feeling of she's trying to be cool. That's not the feeling I got when I met her, but I didn't know her in high school because we went to different high schools. So.
I think we would have been friends because I'm a nice girl.
She thinks we would have been friends because she's a nice girl. We could have. I'm sure we could have been good friends, but I just wonder. If Laura gave me that vibe of like she was trying to be too cool for school, I don't know.
I wasn't like that at all.
She says she wasn't like that. I can't confirm or deny because I didn't know her in high school. Thanks, Tyler.
My phone died.
Wendy's, guys, if you were here last week, I've never met someone whose phone dies more than Laura. It died last stream a week ago. It dies every stream. Wendy's or Burger King? I like both.
Burger King just for the onion rings.
I wish you answered baseball and softball questions. Leave out the dumb stuff. Jenny, people don't consider this all dumb stuff. Plus, I have made 3,000 videos on baseball and softball.
Who said that?
Jenny. I'm just explaining to her. I've made like 3,000 videos on baseball and softball. So if you are only interested in baseball and softball, you could literally watch our videos until you're like, I don't know how old you are, but you could probably watch it until you're 80 years old, and you could still not see the same video twice. So.
Plus, we try to be fair and answer.
That's true.
A lot of people.
See, Laura's getting mad now. I'm not getting mad, but Laura, I don't know if Laura could do this job because she's getting mad. Why are you getting mad?
I'm just saying we're trying to be fair and answer everybody's questions.
Why are you getting mad though, Laura? One thing that YouTube has taught me, you cannot get mad at people. There's a lot of people. You can't get mad. Laura gets fired up. She just went from 0 to 100 like real quick. Didn't Drake say that? I think Drake sang a song like that. She went 0 to 100 real quick right there. She was getting really pissed. RC from the NYC, thank you so much. A deposit for Laura's charger. Laura, I don't understand.
I just plugged it in. It's charging right now.
You get a new phone though.
I like my
Only Laura and her mother keep the same phone for 14 years.
I don't want to have to learn.
I get a new phone every year, and my phone never dies.
Because you try to be the cool kid with the new phone.
Oh my God. George Soros, I have no idea. I can't answer that question for you. I'm not sure. She does. It's her Italian temper. You're right. But Laura's she's you're Italian, you're French Canadian,
Irish.
you're Irish. Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
3 things. Laura is the CEO of this mess. Would I ever come to Toronto for a mini school? What's a mini school? Fast pitch over 40 players. A mini school? You mean like a little camp? Like a camp? Maybe. I've gone places for camps.
We have people drive down from Montreal for us.
Oh, I have lots of Canadian people drive all the way or come all the way down here from Ronald. I almost called you Ronald McDonald. Sorry, Robert. Robert McDonald. Thank you so much. Are you a hockey fan? I have. And have you ever been to Canada? I am a hockey fan. I love hockey. I wanted to play in the NHL for a lot of my life. I'm not a big NHL fan anymore. I was a huge NHL fan growing up, and then I kind of got away from it. If you want to talk NHL with me, you got to talk like 1995 to 2000, probably 95 to 2005, right in that area. I used to be able to name every player from every team, and I've been to Canada a lot, yeah. Been to Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto. I've been to Prince Edward Island. Been to, where else have I been? I've been to a lot of places in Canada. NHL 94. Hell, that's one of the greatest games of all time. Am I organized and neat? With my stuff, I'm very organized and neat, yeah. I always sat fastball pretty much 99% of the time. That was my strategy, sit fastball. Hardest pitch to hit in the majors was either a really good splitter or a really good slider. First player I saw in the minors that I knew would be a star was David Freese. First day I saw him. So David Freese and I were drafted the same year. We were roommates. When I showed up to pro ball, for the Padres, they sent me to short season A-ball in Eugene, Oregon. I walked into the hotel. It was a team hotel. I thought that I was going to get my own room. I opened the door, and some dude sitting on the bed with no shirt on, freaking big old dude with a tattoo around his arm, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? Well, it was David Freese. Great guy. We went to practice that next day. We had one team practice for our first game, and I saw David Freese hit. He was like, I don't know what round. You guys can look it up. Was he a 7th round pick, 9th round pick, something like that? I don't know. First day I saw him hit batting practice, he's hitting rocket shots to right center field out of the park. And I was like, holy shit. Holy crap. I was like, this dude right here is legit. Then he played third base, and he's freaking smooth as hell over there. He was a big, huge dude, but he could run well. Like, he was athletic. He had quick feet, good feet, and he had a freaking cannon for an arm. I was like, how the hell did this guy go in the 9th round? So I got to know Dave pretty well, and it was a long story behind why I think he went in the 9th round, but he was the first player I saw that I thought he was the best player on that team, and he ended up being the best player on that team. So I guess I should be a scout instead of a player. Wong Hong, thank you so much for the super chat. If you could play any position in the big leagues at an all-star level, what position would it be? Probably, well, I guess shortstop maybe, because you get the most action, but I'd also always had this thing where I wanted to play center field. I've always thought of like being Griffey and like making spectacular catches in center field. I always thought that would be awesome. Best field to play on, either Petco or Dodger Stadium. Those were the 2 best dirts I've ever played on. I do my hair. My hair is done for convenience. I cut my own hair. I just go done. I've had a buzz cut basically ever since high school. I did grow my hair a couple of years. If you go onto Google and just type in Matt Antonelli, you'll probably see me with really long hair for a couple of years. I had really long hair in 2006. I had long hair in 2011. Those are the 2 years I had super long hair. In 2006, my hair went down. If I straightened it, I have real curly hair, but if I straightened my hair, I actually did straighten it one time. Took like a straight iron. I don't know why I did this. It went down to like right here. It was crazy. Oh, we have a couple super chats, guys. Someone just asked, why is baseball becoming unpopular? I do want to answer that real quick. That's not a super chat question, but I do want to answer that real quick. Um, when I think of baseball, I think that baseball is not doing a great job. I think baseball is a great sport. I think that baseball hasn't done a great job at um, making changes. They don't have to be huge changes. They could be subtle, but they're not doing a good enough job to stay up with the times. Baseball is a weird sport where if you talk to an old school baseball fan, or if you just talk to a baseball fan, thanks, Scotty, everyone always says, keep the game the way it is, keep the game the way it is, keep the game the way it is. Nobody says that about football. Nobody says that about basketball. And I don't know hockey enough. I don't know enough hockey people. But nobody says that. Those other two sports are always making changes to keep the game exciting. Now, in football, it's usually to make more points scored. In hockey, it's been to make more goals scored. In basketball, it's to get more points scored. In baseball, they don't want to make any changes, and I think people get upset with that. And the game is a slower sport than every other game. It's not that exciting if you don't really know baseball. And I think they need to just do a better job of of speeding the game up a little bit. Now most people will be like, leave the game the way it is. Stop trying to change it. But why is baseball the only sport that doesn't change anything? And I would say that most young kids, baseball is generally enjoyed more by an older crowd. The younger kids, I don't feel like are getting into baseball. They like basketball more. They like football more. And so I do think baseball, with that, and the second thing, and this has been talked about by some people, baseball, they run things differently when it comes to marketing the game. Like for me, like I can't, when I talk about baseball a lot, I can't show anything baseball related on my channel. If I show like anything. If I wanted to talk, if there was a game last night and Mike Trout hit a home run, and I wanted to say, I want to put up on my channel right now and be like, hey guys, check out this Mike Trout home run. Oh my God, look at this swing right here. What a beautiful swing. And look, I can't even do that. If I do that, my channel will get, I can get a copyright, or basically, I don't even know what they call it, but they're just not going to let me do that. And so other sports, you can do that. And so when you have tons of kids on YouTube watching sports, if no baseball people can put any baseball stuff up, how are we supposed to get people to see the game, enjoy the game? I don't know. So that's my thought on it. We have a bunch of super chats here. Oh, wow. We got a lot of super chats. Hold on, everybody. Turn two. Thank you so much for the super chat. How do you think managers will manage different pitchers differently with a shortened season? So I think the biggest thing you have to do is you've got to be careful with. I think they're going to be careful with pitch counts, because This has been a really awkward season. Players, especially pitchers, they fall into a habit of preparing for the season a certain way. You've got to be careful just throwing guys out there. A lot of guys haven't thrown for a long time, or haven't, so you got to get them ramped back up. I think they got to be careful with them. I guess it does depend on how many games you're playing. If it's really short season, it's tough to say, because I don't know what a short season is. Is it 112 games? Is it 60 games? But they'll definitely be they will be different. But I think the biggest thing is just making sure that they take care of their arms. My proposal story, thanks so much, Kate Barry, for the super chat. My proposal story, I proposed in New York City, in Central Park on, what it was, a pond? Like a little lake kind of thing. You do like these, you get on these little boats that you can, rowboats? Yeah, like a rowboat. So I rode to the middle of the lake pond thing. Pond, I'm going to call it a pond. She said, I think it's a pond. I rode to the middle of the pond, and then I proposed there. Laura had no idea I was doing it. D. Porter, thank you again for your super chat, D. Porter. More Lucky Charms. Matt, please tell the Trevor Hoffman story again. How cool he was to you. Thanks. So I have a lot of Trevor Hoffman stories. My most famous Trevor Hoffman story was my mom's story. I think that's the one you want to hear.
No, he wants the one with the guy yelled at you on the bus, and then he came over and was nice to you after.
How do you know that's the one he wants?
Ask him. Which one do you want, the bus or Matt's mom?
Does he want Matt's mom? What?
The bus story, the story about your mom.
Oh. I'm gonna tell both of my I'm gonna tell both of my the mom one. That's the one I knew that you wanted that, D. Porter. So we're playing in Washington D.C. against the Nationals. I'll tell both. So we're playing against the Nationals when I was with the Padres, and I come down from the hotel. Hold on, I have to preface the story actually with your little card. Can you come closer, Laura, and tell the card story real quick? You're my biggest fan, Jackson Vanderas. Okay, so when you're in the major leagues, you can get this little is a family pass.
It's looks like a little license card.
Talk a little louder.
It says like ununiformed family all access. So when Matt got called up when I got to San Diego, Casey, Chase Headley's wife, brought me to get a card so that I could have one when I would go in and out of the stadium and stuff. And then when we got to DC, Matt's mom.
No. I'm telling the story. No. I'm telling the story. So, but yeah, you get like a little card, okay, family card.
It was
whatever.
like a photo ID that just said I was a player family.
Okay, so my mother wanted this card, but Laura got it, not her. My mom was not happy. She wanted to be.
Well, your mom didn't even know about it until she saw I had one.
I know, but she found out about it, and then she wanted it. Stop, Laura. Laura wants to give every freaking little detail.
I'm leaving.
Now she's mad at me. We got it, Laura. I just need to know about the card. She left. She's mad at me. Okay, so let me continue the story. And she closed the door on me. Unbelievable. So I'm going down I'm in the hotel. I'm coming down the elevator. I get out of the elevator. I'm walking to the bus to go, or to the I'm walking to, I think, a cab or something to go to the field. And I see Trevor Hoffman and my mom sitting talking in like the lobby of the hotel. And I'm like, now I've only been called up at this point for like a couple weeks. And I'm like, what the hell is my mom sitting and talking with Trevor Hoffman for? They don't know each other. So I just walk by, I pretend I don't see them. I walk by and I go to the field. Well, later on, Trevor comes up to me and he's like, hey, Matt, can I talk to you? Laura is uncoachable. She is uncoachable. He says, hey, Matt, can I talk to you? And I'm like, yes, sure thing, Trevor. What do you got? And he's like, hey, could you do me a favor, man? I'm like, yes, anything for you. You're a future Hall of Famer. I didn't say that. And he was like, could you get your mom the family pass? And I was like, yeah, sure thing. I'll do that. And he walks away and I'm like, holy shit, my mother I've just been called up to the big leagues. I'm like 22 years old. I'm like, my mother went and found Trevor Hoffman, future Hall of Fame pitcher Trevor Hoffman, and tattletaled that I didn't get her a family pass. And then he freaking came and asked and told me, and now I feel embarrassed. I've just been called to the major leagues, and my mommy went and tattletaled on me, and it was just terrible. So that was my Trevor Hoffman story. Hi, Sean. What was my other Trevor Hoffman story? I've had a bunch of Trevor Hoffman stories. Oh, the bus story. I'll tell this story real quick, guys. I've made videos on this. That is an embarrassing story. My other all my stories with Trevor Hoffman are kind of awkward. He was the nicest guy ever, though. I used to come out of spring training, and he would be sitting outside the spring training complex, and he'd be sitting with my dad talking baseball with my dad. I'd be like, what the hell are my parents freaking stalking Trevor Hoffman for? So on the bus, we played the Diamondbacks. I made a boo-boo, and Justin Upton hit me a ground ball. We were winning by a good amount in the ninth. He hit me a ground ball at third. I fielded it, Took a couple of shuffles. I didn't realize Justin Upton was so fast. This was when he was young. I threw the ball to first. He beats it out. It was a routine play. So that should have been the end of the game. It wasn't. They end up, getting another hit or something or whatever. The game ends. We win. I get on the bus to go back to the hotel. And so I'm on the bus, and our pitching coach comes up to me. I'm sitting there all by myself at the back of the bus, and he leans over and he goes, I can't say it on here because it's a swear word, but he says, "Don't ever effing do that again." But he said the real word. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay. I don't say anything. I just stare at him. So he walks away. I'm sure everyone around me heard him say that. He didn't whisper it like that, like I just did. So then Trevor Hoffman came up to me, and I had headphones on. I remember the song now, guys. Last time I told you this story, I didn't remember the song. Let me play the song for you. I don't know why I was listening to this song. This song was popular. I don't know if you guys remember it. I can't believe Laura just left the room like that. Poor sport. I'm just going to play the song real quick, guys. I'll play it real fast and then I'll get off, okay? This was the song I was listening to. So I'm listening to this on my headphones. I don't know. Let's see if it gets us shut off. Let's see if they will. Hold on. So I'm listening to the song on my headphones, and Trevor comes over and taps me on the shoulder. And so I take my headphones off. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, and he takes my headphones and he puts it on like this. And this is the song it's playing. So he puts on his headphones. Just imagine like 35-year-old Trevor Hoffman doing this. Ready? Oh, Billie Jean's going to give me a commercial there. Hold on, guys. So he's got the headphones on, and this is the song playing. Hold on. This is the song that's playing, and he's going. Does this for like 5 seconds. And then he takes him off, he gives him back to me, and he goes, "Cool song." And he walks away. He said something like that, "Nice song, cool song." And I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, holy hell, me and Trevor Hoffman, man, we're just, we're not getting off on the right foot here with my mom tattletaling on me, and then this whole experience. So that was it. Those are two. That was by Mims. Yeah. No, we're not guaranteed baseball this season. Tony Gwynn stories. I've got some Tony Gwynn stories. Super Mega Baseball 3. I did check it out, but my Tony Gwynn stories. I got to talk hitting with Tony Gwynn, but it didn't last very long because I didn't ask any questions. I was sitting in the clubhouse one day. Tony Gwynn came up to me and was just like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, Matt." I don't know. He starts to like small talk real quick, and he's like, "Hey, man, I really think that you need to load more in your swing." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, just it doesn't look like you're getting loaded enough. He's like, "Just get loaded more." And I was like, "Okay, absolutely, thank you." And that was it. That's my Tony Gwynn story. I should have been like, "Tony, can we go hit? You want to go hit? You have spare time? I'd like to go hit with you." But I didn't. Should have listened. I did not listen to him. But he said load more. But what does that mean? I mean, I tried loading more, loading less, loading early, loading later, loading everything. No, I'm not a huge sweet tarts, but I have a super chat, guys. Hold on one second. I missed a super chat, I think. Oh man, I missed a bunch of super chats. Metal Metallica 1986. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ever considered coaching in the majors? Again, sorry if it's already been answered. No problem, Metal Metallica. Thank you for the super chat. So when I stopped playing, I have gone on 2 interviews with 2 major league organizations for coaching jobs, and I think I got both of them. I actually told them that I did get one of them, and I told them I wasn't going to accept it. And then the other one, I think I was going to get it, but I had to kind of pull out of the thing. It was between two people for a manager's position in the minor leagues, and I ended up kind of pulling out of it. They both were just not great times in my life because, well, one of them, it was the very first year I was back at Wake Forest. I was set to go back and finish my second semester at Wake Forest when I went back to get my degree. And I would have had to pull out of college after I already paid for a full year's of tuition. Plus, I was coaching on the Wake Forest baseball team. It just wasn't a great time, so I told them no thank you. And then the other time was a couple years ago. I was offered the hitting coach job in like a high minor league team hitting position, and I ended up not taking that job because I had Antonelli baseball. I had two kids. My daughter had just I think she had just been born, and so I decided not to take it. And Big Dom Stud, thank you so much. Is the Brian Giles story about manscaping and the trash can in the clubhouse true? A little bird told me. All right, so I'm sure it was. I didn't witness that, but Brian Giles did a lot of interesting things. So he was a very interesting person. Very nice guy, though, but very interesting. All right, let's see. Back to these questions. Kurt, Blue Jays fan. They got a nice, young, exciting team. Who was the best and worst umpire to you when I was playing? So I actually talked about this last week a little bit. I never paid attention to any umpires' names. It's probably a terrible thing, but I never liked umpires. Nothing personal. I just don't like you during the game. Because I always thought that I knew the strike zone better than all the umpires. And so at least once a game, probably more than that. My best skill as a player was to know what the strike zone was. I never swung at balls, very rarely. And so if I took a pitch and I said ball in my head and the umpire said strike, I hated him. I know it's not nice, but I did. So I could never be friends with umpires, never want to talk to them. I mean, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? But I had no interest in knowing their names or anything. So I can't answer your question. Joe West. Joe West says something to me. Who were we playing? I think we're playing the Rockies. I don't know. Joe West called me a rook. And I can't remember exactly why he called me a rook. But there was something that happened. What was it? I don't even remember. I think I came up and I didn't say hello to him and the catcher, and I usually did, but when I got up to the big leagues first time, I wasn't gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I remember he said something and then called me rook. I felt like an idiot. But the most I got yelled at in the major leagues, I got reamed by an umpire. Because I was playing second base and we threw the ball down. Someone was stealing. So our catcher threw the ball at me and I caught the ball and I tagged the runner, but I didn't tag him. I just kind of swipe tagged him, but I missed him. So I missed him and I held my glove up. Now I've done this in my whole career. Like, I don't always tag a guy. When he slides in, I just get real close. I tag him a lot, but sometimes I just come real close. I might just miss him. But it's happening so fast, the umpires can't see most of the time. They just say out, if the ball beats him, out. And so in the big leagues, it's like I'm one of my first few days up there. They throw it down, I catch it, I swipe the tag, I hold it up, and this is before instant replay, just keep this in mind. I go like this, umpire goes, ow, and I go, all right, I throw the ball around. Now I know I didn't tag him, but again, this has happened a million times in my career. I'm walking back to my position, and the freaking umpire comes over to me and says, next time, effing tag him. And I was like, yes, sir. And I'm thinking, how the hell did he see that I didn't tag him? No one's ever said to me that. No one has ever said that. And I've been in the major leagues for like 3 days. These freaking guys got like x-ray vision. Like, how the hell did he know that? So I was pretty impressed by that. Matthew 8527. Thank you so much for the super chat, Matthew. Hello. Hello, how are you? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. What do you think of the Yankees players playing for the Red Sox? Are they treated different in Boston? So the fans might. I mean, I played for the Yankees. I never got to the big leagues with them. I was in AAA. I never played for the Red Sox, but I think most players, when you're inside baseball, when you're inside baseball, you realize that, and this is more for now. Like back in the day, it wasn't, but with free agency and players moving around and all that stuff, like most players know each other. It's hard to create like huge rivalries. Now they happen sometimes, but like a lot of players are like some guys are best friends with players in the other team because in the off season they live together, they train together, and so most guys know each other and most guys are friendly. So it's not like when a Yankees player gets sent to the Red Sox, they're like, "Oh, I hate you. You play for the Yankees." In my experience, that's not what it's like. Hey, thank you. You're in Hungary? That's really cool. Advice for a player trying to walk on at the D1 level. What school are you at? Are you at the school already, or are you just looking to go to a D1 school? So walking on is very tough, obviously, depending on the school you're at. But I mean, the biggest thing is just work as hard as you can before you get out there. I don't know if you're doing a walk on trial or whatever, and then just play your game and don't worry about what they're thinking or anything. Just do the best you can, and San Jose State, cool. Yeah, man, just go for it. I've seen guys walk on. I coach in college, and we signed a walk on, and so and when I played at Wake Forest, we had a walk on, so it's possible. Give them hell. I usually say, bite your lip and give it hell. Benjamin Orman, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. When I was with the Yankees, I played with a lot of guys in the Yankees that played in the big leagues. Yeah, my team. I was only with the Yankees for a few months because I got traded from Baltimore to the Yankees. Our catcher was Francisco Cervelli. Um, First baseman was Russell Branyan. Shortstop was Ramiro Pena. I was a second baseman. Third baseman was Eduardo Nunez. Pitcher was Dylan Betances. DH was Jack Cust. Our whole team played in the big leagues, basically. Um, who else? I'm missing other guys, but we had lots of big leaguers on the team. Was Cervelli as a hothead? Is that what someone just asked? So Cervelli was a great guy, super super nice guy, um, and so no way Jackson, I'm the greatest player to ever play the game. Just kidding. Um, now I forget. Oh, for Cervelli played with a ton of energy. I'm talking a ton of energy. Like he always was going a million miles an hour. I always liked that about him. He was always having fun, energetic, great catcher. Just like if you are a pitcher, you want him as your catcher because he's just awesome. I really enjoyed playing with him. And in the clubhouse, he was always listening to music, super loud. Um, Landon Souza, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Mark, I mean Mike, damn it, Matt, start, bench, release. Cole, Sailor, Verlander. Thank you, Landon. If you guys were watching my Twitch stream, you know what Landon's talking about. Okay, start, bench, or release. So out of these guys, I'm gonna release Sale because he's injured. When he's healthy, he's nasty, but he's not healthy right now. And then Cole and Verlander. I'll start. Verlander's getting old. I'll start Verlander because he's back with the same team. I feel like I know what I'm going to get from him, even though he's a little older. Cole's switching teams. Um, I don't know as much. I think Cole's nasty. I think Verlander's nasty. I'll start Verlander. I'll bench Cole. I'll release Sale. Oh, I would have loved to pitch. Yeah, when I was with the Padres, I love pitching. Call of Duty. I do not play Call of Duty. My opinion of Division Two and NAIA baseball programs. I think that there's the right program out there for everyone. Just depends. There's some really good D2 programs. Everyone gets caught up with the D1 programs, but there's no doubt if you played a Power Five school in a D1 like you're gonna have great facilities. You're gonna play against great competition, so that's awesome. But Not everybody was meant to play at a Power 5 school, so there's plenty of great NAIA programs, D2 programs, D3 programs, JUCO programs. So I have nothing but good things to say about all those places. If I was a pitcher, when I was a pitcher, I was fastball, breaking ball, changeup was my third pitch, and it was by far my third pitch. What's the most I've been blown out? I don't know. So I don't think I've been blown out that bad. The best win I ever had, the biggest win, was a 30-0 win in single A against the Boston Red Sox single A team. So we offer like these hats and all kinds of stuff, but right now we're not able to ship anything. Like I'm not able to ship everything. I can't get down to the post office. Massachusetts is still, we're actually still in phase one of our lockdown, so I can't really do a whole lot. And so I will eventually have more stuff on our. I'll put it up on our website when I'm able to do that. We do actually a huge summer camp every year. We can't do it this year because we're not allowed to, but. Man, last year our summer camp was huge. It was awesome. It kind of stinks that we're not able to do it this year, but we do that one camp is like a 4-day camp where we have players from kind of all over come to it. But we do, like, if you're local, we do kind of like these smaller camps during the winter and stuff, but it's more for like local kids. All right, guys, I'm gonna do maybe another minute or so, and then I'm gonna go see if Laura is crying because she's still mad at me. Hi, Cody. The summer camp. Oh, everything's open to all ages. We have kids as young as like 8 years old come to us, and I've got kids. I mean, I've got pro ball guys that come to us. So everything's basically all ages. Then we just try to group the ages together. Rich Atwood, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, what's going on, Rich? Thank you. Laura got mad at me because I don't know. She was telling I asked her a question about the Trevor Hoffman thing, and oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes.
What do you say, Mom?
They asked why you got mad at me, and I said
I left because every time you do this, you ask me to come sit with you, and I come in and sit with you, and then you attack me any chance you can.
I don't
I
attack
come
you.
in here to be like abused by you.
I don't attack you.
So if you can't sit there and talk nice to me, I'm not gonna sit in here with you.
I just said. All right, here's my thing. Laura, you can stay there and listen. She's leaving, but she's still leaving. This is what I do when I'm coaching. I don't mean to do it.
But you jump anytime I talk and it's not exactly what you want me to say. You jump on me and correct me.
I don't mean to jump on you, but this is what I do in coaching. Also, sometimes when I want something to happen, I'll just say it real quick. It might sound mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just so like when I said
But
to you.
I was sitting over here, perfectly happy, and you said, "Come over here and tell the story."
Because we all love.
I go over there, and then
we
you
love
jump
you.
on me and say, "Stop talking."
No. I said stop talking because I had to tell the story, and you started to tell the story, and I wanted to tell the story.
Then why'd you tell me to come over there and tell the story?
I didn't. I said, can you explain the
you
card?
said move closer so they can hear you.
Guys, were you listening? I'm not admitting I'm wrong. Were you listening?
Matt will never admit he's wrong ever about anything.
I said, can you explain the card? You explained it. You did a
I don't need to
You
sit
did
there
a
and
fan.
listen. Okay.
You did a fantastic
Talk
job.
yourself up a little more. Everybody tell Matt how great he is. Go ahead.
You did a fantastic job of explaining the card, but then she was going to tell what Trevor said, and I said, no. I want to tell what Trevor said. I want to tell. I probably said it. You can go back to the videotape. Oh, we were supposed to play Red Dead tonight, guys, and I forgot. Shoot. And so what happened was I wanted to tell that story, so I said, I had to stop. I said, don't tell a story. I want to tell it. I probably said it a little bit, not rude, but no, I'm not holding the L. I didn't say it rude. That's what I mean when I do a coaching. Like sometimes when I'm coaching, sometimes I feel bad when I do this. I'll be saying something and someone will say, I'm like, no, I'm telling you, just do this. And I say it kind of like that. I'm not mad at all. I might say it a little bit mean, but I'm not mad. You were rude. See, some people might think I was rude. I was not trying to be rude. I just said, stop talking. I'm going to tell a story. Let's see. Hoffman still causing problems. Anyone that is married or has been married knows that this is not even a fight. This is not a fight. This is just discussion. We're just discussing. No, I'm not sleeping on the couch. If I was a player, I'd want power. Power. What is a good high school ERA that would get? ERAs mean nothing. High school stats mean nothing. I don't mean to be mean. I mean, I'm not what I mean. Um, the reason high school stats usually don't mean nothing. Now, listen, if you have a 0 ERA, you're probably a good pitcher. But the problem is there's so many different levels of high school ball. So I coach in high school in Massachusetts, where we probably play in the best league in Massachusetts. When you play in our league, like you're going to be facing other Division One players, and the really good players are all almost like you're being mean again. All of our college, all of our starting lineup all plays college baseball. Almost our entire team plays college baseball. We had 31 guys on the roster last year. So like if you're playing against us, it's going to be hard. Like that's a good league. There's other leagues that you can go watch in Massachusetts where you might have a kid that can't catch the ball that well. So it's hard to take stats because if you hit 300 in our league, that's really good. You might hit 700 in another league, and well, if you hit 700, it's pretty good. You might hit 500 in a horrible league, and that's really not that good because no one's very good in that league. So it's just hard. Stats are tough in high school. Thank you. Yeah, and Juan brings up a good point too. Our league is wood bat. So, like we play wood bats, someone else playing metal bats, it's hard to compare those stats. When I coached in college, I got so many emails from players that were like, "Oh, I hit 700 and this and that and everything." I'd watch their video and I'd be like, "This kid's the worst player I've ever seen." And then, there's other kids, you see their stats and this kid hit. Now if a kid hit, 186, 200 in high school, that's a red flag, no doubt about it. Like if same thing. If I see a pitcher and he's 90 miles an hour and I look and I see his ERA of 5.8 in high school, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, something. I'm probably checking that out because I'm like, what's wrong with this kid? Either he can't throw the ball anywhere around the plate, or maybe he throws hard, but he has no clue, like zero clue how to pitch. Yeah, wood bats is definitely tougher than metal bats. Anyone that tells you, I always laugh when the kids are like, "Oh yeah, I like wood bats more. They feel better in the ball. I hit better with a wood bat." I've yet to meet many people that hit better with wood bats. I don't think I've met anybody. Even our high school guys are like, "Yeah, we love wood bats. Yeah, wood bats feel so good." Oh yeah, then why do we score one run every time we use wood bats, guys? And then we break out the metal bats because our tournament, and if we play a non-league game, it's metal. All of a sudden, the ball is just a boom, bang, boom, balls flying all over the place. Couple more super chats. Trevor Collicott, thank you so much. What are the keys to get drafted out of high school? Be a stud. um, the keys to being drafted out of high school. Honestly, I don't know the keys. The keys you have to be really good. You have to have a skill set that, two things. You have to have a skill set that a professional scout is going to look at and say that skill set is going to translate to my level of play, and I feel like this player can be a big league player. You have to be able to be a big league player. They're not going to draft you if they're like, "Oh, this guy could be a good minor leaguer." They have to look at you and say, "This guy can play in the big leagues." If they think you can play in the big leagues, they will. There's a chance they could draft you. Now, there's another part, signability. If you're a high school player, depends on a lot of things. Because remember, if they draft you, you could just say, "No, I'm going to college." And so, thanks, Cody. And so they have to be sure if they're going to spend a pick on you that you're going to sign. So like, I'll give you an example for me. When I was in high school, everyone that I met in high school, all the scouts and everything, they were like, "Oh, we're going to draft you somewhere in like the 5th to 7th round." That's what everyone kind of told me. I was right in that like 5th round, 6th round, 7th round range. I went in the 19th round. My guess is they saw that I had a scholarship to Wake Forest, good academic school. I was a pretty good student. They probably felt like, I'm not going to risk taking this kid in the 5th round and have him go to Wake Forest. So I dropped to the 19th. There's a chance I could have dropped all the way out of the draft because of that. And so that happens to some guys. So they ended up taking me in the 19th round, and then they tried to offer me 5th round signing bonus to get me to sign. I ended up not taking it. So there's a lot that goes into it. But essentially, the easiest answer is they think you can play in the big leagues. That's it. And nobody's drafting you for any other reasons unless you've got a dad or a relative that works in Major League Baseball and they're like, "Hey, let's spend our 40th round pick on this guy," whatever. But other than that, the only way is they got to feel you can play in the big leagues. Hey, what's up, Andrew? All right, guys. So I'm gonna go one more minute of questions. This has been a great session. How long have we been in here? I came on at what, 9 o'clock? Wow, 2 hours, guys. Oh my. Next card investment. Mm. Um, so I've got a bunch of new cards that just came in, but I don't know which one I'm gonna put on videos next. Juan will like my next investment. This is a player that I'm pretty sure is Juan's favorite player, or one of his favorite players, and it is my favorite player, one of my favorite players. Um, and so we'll show that card soon. Why do some players ignore fans asking for autographs? Nope, Juan, too early. You got to go think. This player's retired. Think about like your all-time favorite players. Think about a couple of those guys. So why do some players ignore fans? Well, it depends. Some people just don't like signing autographs. Some people sign a bunch of autographs and eventually they have to go. Like they can't stay forever. And so some people get mad when, they miss out on an autograph, but like sometimes the player just has to go. They have to go do something. Manny? Maybe. Pedro? Ooh, RC, you might be right. Maybe. Robbie Alomar? It's not Robbie Alomar. Oh, I signed lots of autographs. I signed autographs before and after every game I ever played in. I never played in a game where I didn't sign autographs. I'd always make sure to take a few minutes. Usually, I'd stretch and throw and everything, and then I'd run in. I'd sign autographs to anyone down the baseline, and then I would go in the dugout. It's not Reggie Jackson. Dealing with the media, I played in San Diego. It was the easiest thing ever. There was barely any media. So we would have like two people in our clubhouse after the game. And they never wanted to talk to me. They talked to me like, I think when I got my first hit and when I hit my first home run and when I got called up. The Bowman Manny with the striped shirt, I actually looked at that. I almost got that. I haven't got it yet, but. Fan doesn't have to give a player his first home run ball. The fan that caught my first home run ball didn't want to give me the ball. He made me trade him everything for it. He wanted bats and balls and all kinds of stuff, but I didn't want to give him any of my bats because I was on the road in Colorado and I wanted to use my bats. So one of our pitchers, Clay Hensley, gave me his bats and he was like, "Hey, just give him these bats and tell him they're yours." They said Clay Hensley on them, but I signed them and I was like, "Just tell this guy I use Clay Hensley's bats, whatever." So we traded him like bats, and I think I had to sign balls, and I don't know what else I gave him, and he gave me the ball back. And then the Padres took the ball and never gave it to me. They messed up. They were like, "Oh, we've got to get it signed. We've got to take it and send it to this guy." And then the ball disappeared and never to be found. I got my first hit ball. You guys can see my first hit ball is the middle one. This one right here. Vandy commit, nice. That's my first hit ball right there off of Greg Maddox. And then this ball over here. What is that ball? Oh, that's my AAA All-Star ball. So that ball. Oh, let's see who's that signed by, guys. Oh, I can't read any of them. I'll have to look that up, but there's definitely a bunch of big leaguers on both of those balls. The AAA ball, there's a ton of big leaguers. And then the single A All-Star ball, there are some big leaguers. Whey LeBlanc, Chris Davis from the Orioles. There's a bunch, but I don't remember everyone that was on that game. But I remember the AAA game. There was a lot of big leaguers. The picture with Reggie Jackson. Where is my picture? I don't remember where my picture is with Reggie Jackson. All right, guys, last question of the day. We got a super chat from John Novak. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. What would it take for you to make an MLB comeback? A whole lot of steroids. I'm just kidding, but not really. I could never make a steroid. I could never make a steroid. I could never make a comeback because my wrist is like in really bad shape. So if you look at my wrist, let's see if you guys can see it. How you can see it. See this line that starts here and then it goes like this and then it goes up like this and it goes up into my hand. So that's where they cut my wrist open 3 times because I got a really bad wrist. Then, if you see my hand, see this? You can see it right here. This line goes from here and it goes up like this, there. That's where they cut my hand open because I broke my hand. So this wrist, when I hit, hurts really bad. I ended up missing, I don't know, 250 games in my career just because of this one wrist hand. Probably more than that, actually. So I just couldn't do it. Like, my wrist would kill. I can hit and be okay, but the next day I wake up and I'm really, really sore. Torn rotator cuff, 2 elbow surgeries, torn left bicep. Oh, my Lord, that hurts. My wrist will bother me today. Like, when I hit a lot of fungos to the guys, my wrist will hurt. There'll be some random days. Usually when it's like bad weather out, I'll get like, not so much my wrist hurt. I'll get pain that kind of like goes into my fingers a little bit. So, but definitely like if I'm hitting with my son outside, I'll take some swings. I actually did it a couple weeks ago. He was swinging and I took a couple swings. Like, first swing, boom, I swung. I was like, oh my God, my wrist hurt bad. What's the eagle in the back? So I went to, my high school was St. John's Prep Eagles. I've got an eagle over here too. I'll show you my eagles, guys. Hold on one sec. Oh my God, this thing weighs like 1,000 pounds. Oh. So, Jesus. Here's my eagle. So St. John's Prep, 2003, Best Athlete Award. And it's a big old eagle. This thing weighs like 100 pounds. It's freaking humongous. So I got that huge eagle. Then I got this eagle's really big too. Not as big as this eagle's big, but I don't even know what this eagle is. What does this say? St. John's Prep 2003 Varsity Hockey MVP Award. I don't have any baseball awards. I have all other sports awards. So this is this. Now this guy's cool right here. Look at this. I won the Heisman, guys. Can you believe I won the freaking Heisman? Unbelievable. I didn't even have to give it back like Reggie Bush. This one, I don't even know what that says. Whoops, I just broke it. Oh my God, I just broke it. Oh, I didn't. It says something. Football. Something. I can't read it. I don't know what that says. But then, guys, my best thing ever is this right here. This is my best thing right here. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see it. For, what does it say? For passing 100,000 subscribers. Thank you, YouTube. So, what's the next one? Gold? Is gold the next one? Thanks, guys. You guys all helped me win this baby right here. Anyways, I got all kinds of crazy things on here. Oh, 1 million? Road to 1 million? We got to get to 1 million, guys. Hope I have a super chat. Hold on. Landon Souza, thank you so much. Do most MLB players wear cups? Do they make you? They don't make you wear it. I would say most players do. Most infielders do. I know Adrian Beltre didn't wear a cup. He's got to be a little crazy because... I know they cut me off, huh? Unbelievable. So, what was I just talking about? Oh, cups. Adrian Beltre didn't win one. All I know, one of my first games in the big leagues, in a big league game, in spring training big league game actually, Aramis Ramirez. I don't know if you guys remember Aramis Ramirez. He had a ball. I was playing third base. He had a ball that went past me, and I don't feel like I ever saw it. And I was like, if I wasn't wearing a cup by that point, I was going to put a cup on because if that ball hit me in the nuts, I would have never recovered. He hit that ball so fast. They call third base the hot corner for a reason. When you play against some of the guys in the major leagues, they hit the ball so flipping hard. Like Josh Hamilton almost killed me at second base. That's far away. That's not even in the corner. Josh Hamilton hit me a one hopper at second base. The ball was hit at me. I went like this to protect myself, and it went in the outfield. They didn't give me an error because the ball almost killed me. And I was like, holy hell, that's the hardest freaking, like, I thought Aramis Ramirez was the hardest ball I ever had until freaking Josh Hamilton hit me the freaking ball. And I was like, that's the hardest ball I ever seen hit. Like, that guy was an absolute animal. He was ginormous. It was a rocket shot. I feel like I can, like, vividly remember, like it was yesterday, how hard that ball was hit. But he was a large human being. Maybe the most gifted. I mean, he's probably one of the most gifted players of all time. Oh, yeah. If you get hit with a cup on it, still kills, yeah. No, they shouldn't move the mound back. They can't move the mound back. Lower the mound, but not move it back. In my opinion, I wouldn't move it back. How good are our anti-baseball teams? It just depends. Some of our teams are really good. We have a lot of teams, so not every one of our teams is like unbelievable. But um, I would say we've got pretty good teams. We're getting better every year. Every year we get better. Um, how old was I when I moved to an intermediate field, like a 50-70 field? I never played on a 50-70 field. I only played on a little league field, and then I played on a big diamond. You played against our 13U team last summer. 13U team would have been Coach Villano's team. That was a very good team. It is a very good team. I started playing baseball probably when I was like 5 or so, I think. I think I have every baseball card of myself made, yeah. We do have a traveling team, yep. We have 11 teams in our organization. We go around the country, mostly just all East Coast. Oh my God, guys! I did break my football guy. The thing just fell off the top shelf and just smashed onto the ground. I don't know if you guys heard that. I got to go fix that. All right, everybody. So I got to go. I got to go see what Lara's doing. Thank you so much for thank you so much for hanging out tonight, everyone. That was a good long chat, over 2 hours. The Eagle Trophy in the back. You just got here, didn't you? We just put that up. We just did that. That's I got an award in high school, like an athlete award. Um, so, anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, tomorrow morning. Oh wait, no, it won't be tomorrow morning. I have another video. I have a tops thing coming. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I guess I can. You guys got to check my video out tomorrow night too. Tops and I've been chatting with Tops a little bit, and so you guys will see that tomorrow if you're watching. Anyways, thanks for all your questions, everyone. Hopefully I helped you out. I know I didn't get to everyone's, but there was a lot of people hanging out, which was fun. So no Red Dead tonight, maybe tomorrow night, but I've got to go see what Lara's doing, and I'm going to go get some sleep because I am exhausted. But again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone that donated to Antonelli Baseball through Super Chat. We really appreciate that. And that's all we got. We'll see you guys next time. We'll probably do this every Monday night. I've been going Monday nights, so maybe we'll just keep going Monday nights with the live stuff. So good night,